Come on in and sit down. You cut the hardcore crew chewing the fat. You cut us shooting the shit. You cut us in the moment.
Raw sucked last night.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple of good parts, but...
Nah, not really. I don't know. There's more bad parts than more good parts.
Then again, I like Bray Wyatt. Other than that, not so much.
The Bray Wyatt segment, I don't know. I mean, they're obviously setting up...
It's obvious.
Well, no, but I wonder if they're setting up for a coffin match. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, there's going to be something to do with the coffin, because the last couple of times now he's come out to the bong shit, and the coffin's like been there, or them, whatever they call druids chanting. So
yeah,
you know, but
the only thing from my point of view now, the thing that I think they've dropped bollock with, twice now we've heard the Undertaker's music. And the crowd have gone, the Undertaker's here. When the Undertaker does come back, it's not going to get the same pop. Because people are going to say, fuck, you know.
About actually having him come back. And this sounds batshit crazy.
I don't think he'll come back I don't think we'll see him at all until WrestleMania. Only on, videos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I would expect some vignettes or something, maybe.
Yeah, You'll put some little video teasers, but I don't think we'll physically see the guy until WrestleMania, because that then will be the biggest pop he'll get, because no one's seen him for a year.
Yeah.
But I've seen some of the pictures of him and his missus on the internet, just like walking down the street or riding his bike, and it looks like your fucking grandfather. He looks a mess.
Well, not even that. We're in the moment, guys, and I was also read a tweet by Michelle McCool that she had posted a photo of the Undertaker while he was working out, and he had said just got through working out in his personal gym, mind you, and he said is still out of breath, but I'm still going. So if he's just working out and he's out of breath, and he's 49 years old, I don't know. That's kind of.
It depends on how hard he worked out.
That's true, but
the only thing is, though, while we're in the moment, if you guys listening can remember the last 3 or 4 WrestleManias that he's done, if you go back and watch them and take them for the actual fighting content, let's say each match lasted 30 minutes, probably only 10 minutes of those 30 minutes they're actually fighting, because he kept getting out the ring all the time, or prancing around, or whatever. There's a lot of break time in his matches just lately. There's more break than there is actual altercation, physical altercation with the Undertaker. He'll throw somebody out of the ring and then just stand there and wait for the other person to get the composure back. So it all gives him time for a breather.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, another thing that really pissed me off about Raw, we were supposed to see Brock. That didn't happen. We were supposed to see Sting. That didn't happen. Now, I got a report as to why Brock didn't show. Well, Brock was actually at Raw last night. According to reports, Brock had actually showed up at Raw last night.
Do you know why he doesn't show up?
What's that?
It was a comment that was made on TMZ, I think it was, last month. The kind of contract he's got, there's no mention of how much money it is, but the type of contract that he's physically got is he gets a flat rate, and if he appears actually on TV live, as opposed to a video clip, he gets paid TV money as well. So if they don't actually stick him on the box, he doesn't get that money. He just gets his wages as such. He doesn't get his bonus. So if they can keep him off TV, I don't know, I'm just quoting ballpark figures now, they're probably saving themselves $10,000.
That's possible, but from what I hear from what Dave Meltzer reported today from the Wrestling Observer, he said Lesnar flew on his private plane to Nashville early on Raw that same day, and according to the people backstage, Lesnar was visibly angry about something, and he said he walked out on Raw before it even ended. Now, they're not sure exactly what the issue is. Vince McMahon was talked with the SmackDown team and said, of course, it wasn't creative, but it had to do... he didn't really go into details. He said it had to do more with something with production. So, I myself... Go ahead.
To me, that sounds like he's made the effort to go to Raw, and then when they've got there, they've thought,
we don't need to.
We ain't spending 10 grand. Just put your face on the fucking picture on the TV.
I don't think so, because obviously they advertised him. So he's the WWE champion. So why advertise him? Have him come out and then say, no, not tonight. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately, it's what the WWE do these days. They just advertise shit and don't bring up the goods.
Yeah, bait and switch.
And
yeah, I mean,
no one's got any grounds to gripe, because I'm sure we've all, I know I have, but I'm sure most of us have been to a WWE event, and it quite clearly states on your program or even your ticket, cards subject to change.
Subject to change, yeah.
So they clear themselves there. So I don't know who it was. Somebody on our page, on the HWR page, on one of the pay-per-views, said they went to the pay-per-view and they were deeply disappointed about blah, 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 and they were going to apply to have their money back. And I thought, you got no chance of your money back just because Brock Lesnar or whatever didn't turn up. Read the back of your ticket. Good luck on suing him.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, okay? Even if that's the case, why not just call Brock and say, you know what, Brock, don't bother coming in? Obviously, there's something a little bit more in hand.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
When you listen to other wrestlers, though, talking about Vince, that's what Vince does. Vince likes to think he's got control of his people.
You know what? No doubt. But I think there's a little bit something more in hand here. I think there's something maybe, I'll be honest, Brock is a hothead.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I think it was, I know Lance will probably know because he watches just as many probably interview videos that I do. And I've got a feeling it could have been CM Punk, and I don't think it was said in nastiness, but I'm sure he's one of the people that's actually said this. Vince is very good at saying to people, I need you to come tomorrow so you can appear on Raw, and when you get there, thanks for coming. Go and enjoy yourself in catering. We don't need you tonight.
Yeah, wasn't it the Cabana one?
Yeah, he just likes to fuck people about.
Yeah. And some people don't play that shit.
Because to him, his attitude, if I fuck them around and they get really pissy and nasty, I know they're not loyal. If I can jerk them around and they go, okay, Vince, but in their mind, they're sitting there, you bastard, I hope your balls fucking drop off. But they haven't got the balls to say it to Vince. Vince is quite happy. And I think he's tried it on probably more than one occasion with Brock Lesnar. Because people seem to think Brock Lesnar's this big, hard man. Brock Lesnar's there for the money. And I swear, if Vince says, right, I want you to go out dressed as an angel with wings on your back, he'd go, okay, Vince, because Brock Lesnar has got no bollocks whatsoever.
Yeah, Sable has them.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on a few other things that kind of pissed me off about Raw. And, obviously we said no Sting. We'll just go with the same story as the fact that, WWE card subject to change. But then after that, 2 squash matches back to back. First, it was a tag team diva match. I don't even think that Paige tagged in. Emma got squashed within a matter of 10 seconds. And then following right after that, it was Curtis Axel versus his old tag team partner, Ryback. And Ryback took him out in a matter of another 10 seconds. And I'm like, what the hell is the point of having these 2 matches?
Yeah, the funniest thing about them 2 matches, do you know when they ring the bell and it goes ding ding? The actual G hadn't finished on the ding and the match was over.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just ridiculous. And then the main event, which really should have been, which always should be the best match of the night, sucked. Yeah. It was junk.
Yeah.
Raw should have been something like the fallout of the pay-per-view was just crap, and
It was a clone of the most of the matches were pay-per-view matches.
Rick, can I bring something up?
Sure.
WWE, will you please quit ruining the Hall of Fame inductees by announcing them some bitches early?
Stop leaking them to TMZ.
Yeah, or whatever whatever website leaked it this time, or stop leaking it on the damn app. Shit.
The problem is that I think right now that the WWE is trying to leak them out because they know that these are huge inductions. And now, you know what? Either way, I have to say congratulations to the Bushwhackers because there are some really great inductions this year.
I mean, that's sending back to childhood.
But what are you going to do? The WWE is going to, leak them out either way. I don't know if they're trying to do it to get more views. Maybe they figure, hey, we'll send this leak out, and more people will watch. Because I heard the leak that there's going to be a tag team leaked. So I deliberately try not to watch TMZ so I don't get the leak. But of course, it was still all over the internet before, Raw came on.
I mean, there was a time, is it just me, but there was a time that WWE used to ridicule Dave Meltzer, whatever his name is, and TMZ, but now they seem to be sucking their ass and giving them all the feeds. In fact, is he Justin Roberts, who used to be the ring announcer? I swear he was the mole all along, and that's why they got rid of him, because I've noticed he's posted a couple of things on TMZ.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he was the mole.
And y'all know my opinion on Dave Meltzer.
They probably got rid of him for totally different reasons, and they just used that as an excuse and said, well, now we'll get rid of him. Well, now we'll just leak our own shit for our own other reasons. So, but let's move on. Last week we talked about Samoa Joe leaving TNA, and we learned this week that Samoa Joe will in fact be heading to Ring of Honor. Andy, what are your thoughts?
Well, as I said last time we spoke about it, I don't see him coming to the WWE because it will be a step back for him, to be honest. I don't like the guy, so I'm not going to say anything disrespectful about the guy because I know a lot of people like him. But talking as a wrestling fan, for Samoa Joe to come to the WWE, that'll be, in his own head, that's a step up. But in reality, he knows they'll treat him the same way they treated people like Booker T. Doesn't matter how big you were, they're going to make you look a dildo.
Fair enough.
I've heard rumours that he's going to come on NXT. Now, I'm sorry. Imagine Stone Cold Steve Austin in his heyday being on NXT, which to me is their third brand. Might be the best branded show they've got at the moment. But as a wrestling fan, it's their third branded show. We're talking Raw, SmackDown, and then NXT in that order. Do you really think he's going to want to go on a third-rated TV show? I don't think so.
Lance, your thoughts?
Well, I kind of called this one. I see him not only going with ROH, also signing with Japan. Like, I think Daniels and Kazarian do, AJ Styles, because
Davey Boy Smith.
Talk to him.
Yeah, Davey Boy Smith's over there in Japan, so he'll be with a good crew.
Wouldn't be surprised if he. Well, I would say I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up with a Bullet Club, but Joe just don't seem like the group kind of guy. He's just more like on his own type guy, but that's just me.
Again, I mean, I'm not sure what his age is, but
35.
I think his age is going against him for the WWE to give him any real push in their company. It'll just be like having Sting or Hulk Hogan, just the odd appearance here, there and everywhere. I don't think they'd utilise him, and I don't think he'd go for that. I think he'd have like a Rob Van Dam contract. Works probably 6 months out of 12. And I don't think Samoa Joe is the type of person that would take too kindly, because some of the background stuff that I read when he was in TNA is that he turned up every single week for a match, and sometimes he wasn't even on the card.
So, but, I think with that, I mean, I would like to definitely see that Samoa Joe is going to be heading in the right place. And I think going to the WWE, I think he's just going to get... for him, it just wasn't the right move. So, ROH, he was always gotten the right push, and, after that, I definitely think he should head over to the Indies. So, let's move along. We've finally have an update on AJ Lee. Apparently, she's been keeping in touch with Paige throughout the whole entire time. She's been out nursing a neck injury, and during a recent interview, Paige was asked about AJ Lee, and she said that during her time off, she said that that sometimes people just need a break to rest up. She says it happens to all of us. You get tired or run down, and you need your body to rest up. So far, there's still no time on when she's actually going to return. However, the former Divas champion has been tweeting with Stephanie McMahon about the Divas division. And it was pretty much just hashtag give Divas a chance was trending on Twitter last night. And Stephanie McMahon tweeted to Patty Artek about her hashtag women's rights speech at the Oscars. WWE AJ Lee chimed in and tweeted to Stephanie below, this is what she had to say. Stephanie McMahon, thank you, Patty Artek, for having the courage to fight with women's rights. on such a grand platform. Use your voice. And she also said, Stephanie McMahon, your female wrestlers have a record-selling merchandise and have starred in the highest-rated segments of the show several times. Stephanie pretty much just retweeted that, and then said, and yet they have received the fraction of the wages and screen time of the majority of the male roster. Andy, do you think that this is really going to hurt AJ's career, or do you think this is just a publicity stunt to kind of like get a storyline going?
I think her career's already down, as I've said before. I think as soon as ever her husband, CM Punk, in case you don't know, Phil Brooks, if we can't use the CM Punk name for copyright contractual purposes, I just think they're going to give her a bad rap. I just think her card's marked because of her husband. I think her days are numbered. I think they're now trying to find out who they can put the Divas belt on and keep the Divas belt on for a while, and it just happens to be one of the Ballas, John Cena's wife. Because then it's an excuse for them to just let her go. And I can see AJ going to somewhere like Ring of Honor. I don't think she will go to TNA.
That's an interesting point. Lance, what are your thoughts about AJ's chiming in and, her update?
Well, honestly, I can't wait to see her back in action. Y'all know how much of a fan I am of AJ. But the whole... Andy, at first I thought you were going to say, I see her going to UFC, and I was just going to start laughing.
I'd like to see her go to UFC.
Hell no. She'd get killed. But, yeah, honestly, about the whole, it's going to hurt her, she's on the way out. Honestly, she's basically, let's face it, she's the John Cena of the Divas division. Sells them probably the most merchandise of the Divas. Shit, even Jane from the Big Easy has a AJ shirt. So,
yeah.
Honestly, I can't wait till she comes back. I kind of think this is maybe going towards an angle.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if it's going towards an angle. I mean, I really would like to see AJ Lee back, because at the moment...
God, we need her.
Yeah, because the Divas division right now is really kind of weak. And until they start really doing something with the Divas division, it's hurting, and they need to stop bringing some of the NXT Divas up. Until then, they're in trouble. So I think right now we're going to wrap up this edition of In the Moment. But right now, we want to know your thoughts. What do you guys think of last night's Raw? What did you guys think about Brock not showing up and Sting not showing up? What do you think about Samoa Joe heading to Ring of Honor? Make sure you put your comments in the comments section below. And please, make sure you like and comment this video. We have the incomparable Lance Moss over at Lance Moss TV. Lance, what do you got going on?
I'm at youtube.com/Lance Moss TV. At album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck American videos, musical equipment reviews, random rants, the archives of controversies and scandals. Also, check me out at Twitter. It's at Lance Moss TV.
Andy, where can we find you at?
Yeah, you can find me at www.stokehaunted.com. And if you go onto the webpage, all the contact details there. You got Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere you want to find out anything about me, or if you want to insult me, it's all on there.
Tell them, Andy, what up.
And of course, you can always check us out at facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And anytime you want to check out any of our videos, check us out at YouTube, Daily Motion, at SoundCloud.com under the name HWR Show. So for everyone here, I'm your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.
Thank you for listening to this edition of In the Moment. Make sure you follow us at any one of our locations, whether it's YouTube, Dailymotion, and now SoundCloud.com under the name HWR Show. Until the next time, this is your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.